Why am I building Dryvn AI Group at 58 years old? Well, it goes back a long time. The story is really I spent a number of years in the automobile industry, working in auto dealerships. Started out washing cars, lot boy, whatever you want to call the job I had. Worked my way up into sales, finance, management. At the age of 38, I had done everything in a car dealership except one thing. I never had my name on a sign. I had tried multiple times with multiple franchises to get my own dealership, and I didn't have the resources. I didn't have the connections that I probably needed. So I relocated back to my home state of South Carolina, and I decided I was going to go a different route. I went into real estate business. And honestly, I was probably better at real estate than anything else I'd ever done. Man, I loved real estate. I finally had a chance to chart my own path, my own course. And things were going great. I was one of the top realtors on the coast of South Carolina, the Grand Strand area. I had developed a system for selling real estate, and it worked, and I did really well. My partners that I was involved with, we were doing land development. Things were great. And then the real estate market crash happened, and I lost almost everything. In just a short period of time. I just watched my whole world crumble. It was devastating. Ended up in bankruptcy. I made payments on that bankruptcy for 5 years while I worked 2 and 3 jobs. I went back to school. I completed my degree. I said at that moment I would never ever be in that position again. I would never be vulnerable again. So when I exited the bankruptcy, paid every dime that I owed, satisfied every creditor, graduated from Liberty University with my business degree, I decided now's the time to go back into business. I may have been hurt. I may have been set back, but I was not defeated. I was going to take everything that I had learned from my experience, everything that I had now learned through my education, and I was going to apply that in business, and I was going to succeed again. I had an option at that time. I could go back into real estate. Real estate market was starting to pick back up again. Or I could go into the insurance business. I had spent some time in the insurance business in the past, and I chose insurance because I wanted that stability. Instead of the get-rich-quick option with real estate, I chose the get-rich-slow option with insurance because of renewals and the things that go along with the insurance industry that's made it such a great business for so long for so many entrepreneurs. And I started building a business, changed companies, finally got the insurance agency I'd always dreamed of having, with what I consider to be the best company in the industry. Relocated to Augusta, Georgia. I live in Aiken, South Carolina. beautiful place, have a beautiful home. Everything was great. And about a year and a half ago, I started noticing some real changes, not just in the insurance industry, but I noticed changes in every industry. And that change is known as AI, artificial intelligence. It's been around for a while, but it has really picked up pace here in the last really 3 to 4 years. It's really ramped up. So I started really paying attention. I started learning everything I could about artificial intelligence, and I started recognizing patterns. I started recognizing how in the insurance industry, artificial intelligence was taking more and more responsibilities within the insurance companies. But I saw a flaw that insurance agents like myself didn't have access to the tools that a lot of companies were using. Either we just didn't know it existed, didn't know how to deploy it, or we were restricted from using a lot of it. And so I started toying with developing some tools that I could use within my agency and that other agents could use. I developed a company, it was called Agency Lead AI. And it was extremely strong infrastructure. And unfortunately, the insurance company that I work with, when I took it to them to get approval to operate, they did not give me their blessing. In fact, they recommended that I not go forward with it. That was a pretty big blow. I had spent 8 long months developing this, a lot of money. Building AI is not free. Don't let anybody fool you. It's not free. It costs you. So I found myself at a point where I again had to ask myself, what am I going to do? I decided to pivot. Then I launched another company. It's called Dryvn AI Group. And Dryvn AI Group is more like a studio where we take and find gaps in business, whether they be insurance, automotive, HVAC, plumbing, restaurants, whatever it could be, and we develop artificial intelligence products that will enhance those businesses and give them the tools they need to succeed. I call it mastering the pivot. I'll tell you this, no matter what you're doing in life, you better recognize that change is happening. It's happening fast, and you need to master the pivot. My story is one that is difficult to tell. Nobody likes to talk about failure. Nobody likes to admit that they have failed. I'll say this, in my 58 years, probably 40 of those years I've spent chasing opportunities and dreams. And I've started, launched, operated, closed many businesses. Probably of all the businesses that I've started, probably had 6 that succeeded. Life is full of failures. Failures are where you learn. Failure is where I have learned. But it's not whether you fail or not, it's whether you continue to try and succeed. And that's my story. Now, I can't tell you where Dryvn AI is going to go. I can't tell you we're going to be the next unicorn. I can't tell you where we're going. I have a vision, And I'm chasing that vision along with my team. We are chasing that vision. But I'm not here saying we have made it. What I'm here saying is we are building, we are working toward a vision and a goal. And that's what my life has taught me, is if you fail in this area, you pivot to the next area. It's never too late to find a way to pivot and change the direction of your life and your career. So you asked me a question. What is a 58-year-old man who's a husband, a father, grandfather, a successful business owner, what am I doing starting another venture? It's just like our name says, just like the name of this podcast. We are driven. We're driven to find a way to make things better. There's a wave coming, and that wave is artificial intelligence. And you either get on that wave and ride it, or that wave is going to plummet you. I invite you to follow along our journey as we build Dryvn. We're going to bring in to some of our meetings. We're going to bring in to some of the nitty-gritty stuff that we do. I invite you to come in and take the ride along with us. Watch our journey. And maybe in watching our journey, you can learn something. If it's nothing else but to learn to master the pivot. Remember, we are driven. Keep a watch. Keep listening. Keep watching. Give us some comments. If you got some ideas, throw them our way. We love to hear them. Till next time, we are driven.